sleigh, throw cares away. Christmas is here, bringing the cheer to young and old, meek and the bold.
Good evening. How's everybody doing tonight? Well, thank you for coming to the Withamsville Church of Christ. Welcome. We're so glad you're here and glad to share in this production with us. As you can see, this is the Withamsville Church of Christ Rocks Group, which is our children's ministry. This is their version of A Christmas Carol. Let me tell you something. You guys are in for a treat tonight. These kids have all worked really, really hard, so it's going to be a good show. If you look close enough, there's even some bigger, older kids that are involved as well. So a couple things tonight about our show. First and foremost, if you look up on the screen, you see a radio microphone. That's because tonight is what we like to refer to as theater of the mind. So what you're seeing up on stage is far less important than what you're hearing and what you're listening to. So think about when you're listening, just try not to see what's up here on stage, but just listen to it, because there's going to be people coming and going off stage, but it's a production for the radio more or less. So if you would, turn off your radio, or turn off your radios. Turn off your cell phones, or put them on silent. Afterwards, thank you, I'm sitting here blanking. There is going to be an intermission. After the first act, there will be 2 acts. After the first act, you'll have a chance to get up, greet one another, say hello to the kids and whatnot. Then once the second act starts, we'll continue. After the second act, we will invite you to come share with us in hot chocolate and cookies. So it's going to be a lot of good times. You're going to enjoy it. So without further ado, I'm going to say a prayer, then I'm going to get off stage, and I'm going to let the cute ones take over. Let's pray. God, we're just so thankful to be here tonight. So thankful that you have blessed us with your presence and just shown us that you are the reason for this season. Father, we love you and we thank you, and we're just so glad to be here and so glad to know that you are God. Thank you for Jesus and for the gift of life that you've given to us. In his holy name we pray. Amen.
Hark how the bells, sweet silver bells, all seem to say, throw cares away, Christmas is here, ringing the cheer, to young and old, meek and the bold, ding dong, that is their song, with joyful ring, all caroling, one seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air, oh how they come, raising the sound, o'er hill and dale, tell they tell, gaily they ring, while people sing songs of good cheer, Christmas is here. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Broadcasting live from the WCoC radio studios, Withamsville Rocks presents Theater of the Mind, Charles Dickens, A Christmas Carol, a radio dramatization written by Philip Grecian and based on the novel by Charles Dickens. In a moment, our story, but first, these words. Now fill your cup with hot buttered rum, call the family together, and move in close to the warm glow of your radio dial to hear A Christmas Carol, the story of Ebenezer Scrooge.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la.
I hear that. The kind of music that comes around once a year. Always makes me feel good. A Christmas song. Well, more than that, a Christmas carol. A part of Christmas. A part of you. For as long as you can remember. Like an old, old friend.
Well, that's one kind of Christmas carol, but we're here to present another kind. One written by Charles Dickens in 1843. It takes place in London, England, and it's the story of mean old Ebenezer Scrooge. Shall we tell a story then? All right then, let's see. How shall we begin? Well, Marley was dead to begin with. There is no doubt whatever about that. Old Marley was dead as a doornail.
A doornail? A doornail?
Yes, odd, isn't it? But that's what Mr. Dickens said, as dead as a doornail.
I don't know what's particularly dead about a doornail, but that is what Marley was, as dead as. And Marley was dead, therefore,
A doornail.
a doornail.
But a doornail's not dead in the first place.
Neither was Marley in the first place.
Oh.
But finally, in the second place, he was. Now you must understand that Marley was quite dead, or else nothing wonderful can come from the story we're about to tell.
I think we all understand that, but tell us about Scrooge.
Shush now. We're getting to Scrooge. Scrooge and Marley had been partners in business before Marley died, and they called their business establishment
Scrooge and Marley.
Strangely enough, yes. Scrooge never painted old Marley's name out of the sign. There it stood for years, Scrooge and Marley. Sometimes people called Scrooge Scrooge, sometimes Marley. He answered to both. It was all the same to him. The only change over the years was that he'd had Marley's desk moved out because
Marley was dead.
Quite.
As a doornail.
Yes, they had been partners for I don't know how many years. Scrooge was Marley's only friend.
And Marley was Scrooge's only friend.
Because no one else could tolerate either of them. Between the two, there wasn't an ounce of heart, not a tuppence of compassion. Why, when Marley died, Scrooge didn't even close the shop. Do you know why?
He said it would be a bad business.
Exactly.
But tell us about Scrooge.
Oh, he was a tight-fisted old skinflint. A squeezing, wrenching, grasping, scraping, clutching, covetous old sinner. Hard and sharp as flint. His heart was colder than a snowman.
That is cold.
Yes, it is. He carried the cold with him always. It made his hair the color of snow after the wagons had passed. It froze his old features, nipped his nose, shriveled his cheeks, stiffened his gait, made his eyes red and lips thin, cruel, blue, and frostbitten. And it spoke out through him in his cold, icy, grating voice. And he never thawed even 1 degree, not even at Christmas. Christmas, humbug. Now tell the story and be quick about it. What story?
Once upon a time.
Do they always have to start out once upon a time?
How about we were somewhere around Barstone on the edge of the desert?
No.
Last night I dreamt I went to Manderley again.
No.
Whether I shall turn out to be the hero of my own life.
No.
It was the best of times, it was the worst of times.
No.
Well, then you should have been satisfied with Once Upon a Time. That's what Mr. Dickens wrote, and I don't think we should tamper. So, once upon a time, on Christmas Eve, old Scrooge sat busy in his counting house. It was cold, bleak, biting weather. He could hear the people in the court outside go wheezing up and down, beating their hands upon their breasts and stamping their feet on the pavement stone to warm them.
The old grandfather's clock in Scrooge's office struck 3. Dong, dong, dong. And though it was only mid-afternoon, it was dark and foggy outside. It had been that way all day. Scrooge's clerk, Bob Cratchit, sat at his desk, copying letters. He wore a long white scarf to keep out the bitter cold, for Scrooge was too stingy to keep a warm fire blazing at the hearth.
And on this particular Christmas Eve, Scrooge had a visitor. It was his nephew, Fred, who entered the establishment all in a glow. His eyes sparkling and the spirit of Christmas radiating from his wind-burned face. A Merry Christmas, Uncle!
Bah, humbug.
Christmas? A humbug? Uncle, you don't mean that.
I do mean it. What reason have you to be so merry? You're poor enough.
What reason have you to be so angry? You're rich enough.
Bah, humbug.
Don't be cross, Uncle.
What else can I be in such a world of fools? Merry Christmas indeed. What is Christmas but a time for paying bills without money, for finding yourself a year older and not an hour richer? Every idiot who goes around about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled in his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart. Oh, that's good stake of holly. Ha!
Uncle!
Nephew, keep Christmas in your way and let me keep it in mine.
But you don't keep Christmas in any way.
Let me leave it alone then. It is best left alone.
On the contrary, Christmas is a good time, a time when men and women open their hearts freely, a time of love and the spirit of giving. And though it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe that it has done me good.
Humbug!
And will do me good.
Humbug!
And I say, God bless it.
God bless it.
Another son from you, Cratchit, and you'll be spending your Christmas looking for another position.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
Come, don't be angry, Uncle. Dine with us tomorrow.
No.
My wife is preparing a Christmas dinner that a king would envy.
I am not a king.
Mother thought you were.
My sister is dead, and it is a charity that she is, so that she cannot see what a worthless rogue her son has become.
You know better than that.
I tell you, Fan is dead. Every year you come storming into my office, trailing in bushels of snow, disrupt my day and babble about Christmas and how wonderful it is. And every year you invite me to Christmas dinner.
And every year you turn me down.
Exactly.
And every year you say, humbug.
And I say it again, humbug. If you know what I will say before I say it, why do you bother to come here every year to hear me say it?
Because, Uncle, one of these times, one of these Christmases, you will accept my invitation.
Humbug! Get out of here. Good afternoon.
Uncle, it's Christmas.
Good afternoon.
I'm sorry for you, but Merry Christmas all the same, Uncle.
Good afternoon.
And a Happy New Year.
I said good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Merry Christmas, Bob.
Merry Christmas, sir.
Cratchit?
Oh, yes, sir. Sorry, Mr. Scrooge.
Merry Christmas indeed. And there's Cratchit wishing him the same. And he has but 15 shillings a week to his name. Mad as hatters. Every one of them. Mad as hatters. Who's this now? More fools? Whole world of fools? Well, I'll confuse them. Heh.
This is Scrooge and Marley's establishment, I believe.
It is.
Have we the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
If I were Mr. Marley, I would have not answered the door when you spoke just now.
He is deaf.
He is dead. He died 7 years ago this very night, and he is still dead.
Then you would be Mr. Scrooge.
How proud your mother must be of you for a discerning nature. Now out with it. What does he want?
It is Christmas, Mr. Scrooge.
I am well aware of it, thank you. No one will let me forget it.
And during Christmas, our organization,
A charitable one.
sees to it, through donations from men such as yourself, that the poor are not forgotten.
Forgotten? How could I ever forget them? I pay taxes to support the workhouses for them. They pass me on the streets every day. Every other fool seems to be concerned with their well-being and talks incessantly about their plight. How could I ever forget them?
Exactly.
I'm reminded every day that the poor needed this, the poor needed that. But in prison, put them in prison where they belong if they don't have the money to pay their debts. At least there they would get a free meal. Are there no prisons?
Plenty of prisons.
And are there workhouses? They can go to the workhouses and put in 15 hours a day of hard labor. Oh, but wait, is it possible? Are the workhouses still in operation?
I wish I could say that they were not.
Those who work there are fed, are they not?
They eat gruel.
Good. If they want better food, they can find better jobs. I did.
Mr. Scrooge.
And I'm glad to hear that the workhouses are still in operation. I was afraid something had occurred to stop them.
We are trying to raise money to buy the poor some meat and drink to celebrate Christmas. How much would you wish to give?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I wish to give nothing. I wish to be left alone. I do not make merry myself at Christmas, and I cannot afford to make idle people merry. I pay taxes to support the prisons and workhouses. Let them go to the poor go to them.
Many can't go there. Many would rather die.
Yes, I know. So then they better do it and reduce the surplus population.
But.
Good afternoon.
Well, good afternoon, Mr. Scrooge.
Afternoon, Mr. Scrooge. Mary, I'm happy
Meanwhile, the fog and darkness thickened. The cold became intense, but the Christmas spirit warmed the people of London town.
One young fellow stood outside Scrooge's door, and in the hope of a mug of hot chocolate, entered and surrendered him with a Christmas carol. God rest ye merry gentlemen.
Get away! Get from my door, you young rogue neck. Away with you. God rest ye merry gentlemen indeed. Of all the...
Dong, 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 dong.
Good night, Mr. Scrooge.
Where do you think you're going, Cratchit?
Home, sir.
You finished your work then?
Yes, sir.
All of it?
Yes, sir.
And you will want to stay home all day tomorrow, I suppose.
Yes, sir, if it's quite convenient, sir.
It is not quite convenient.
But tomorrow is Christmas, sir.
Humbug! It is not fair.
It's only once a year, sir.
Only once a year, sir. You only pick my pocket once a year. You only waste a whole working day once a year. You get no other day off all year. Why should you get Christmas?
But, sir...
Go on, take tomorrow off then.
Oh, thank you, sir.
But be here early the next day.
Yes, sir. Very, very well, sir. Thank you, sir. Merry Christmas, Mr. Scrooge.
Humbug.
And so Scrooge closed up his office and went home to a gloomy suite of rooms on the upper floor of an unhappy old building in an unhappy old neighborhood. Its yard was so dark that even Scrooge, who knew every stone, had to grope his way to the foot of the wooden stairs rising up along the outside wall. And this Christmas Eve, like every Christmas Eve before, he mumbled angrily to himself as he climbed the steps to his front door.
Christmas, bah humbug. Merry Christmas, Uncle, he says. An idiot. A Christmas pudding head. Much good it's ever done him. Happy New Year, he says. And what is it about the New Year? Same as the old year. Miserable. And Bob Cratchit with 15 shillings a week. And a wife and a family to support, talking about Merry Christmas.
It was very late and very dark now, and Scrooge, who took this trip every evening, could barely see as he climbed to his front door.
We are trying to raise money to buy the poor some meat and drink to celebrate Christmas. Humph! What do they have to celebrate? They're poor, aren't they? God rest you, merry gentlemen. Humbug!
But finally he did reach the top, and then began searching his pockets for the keys. Now there was nothing at all particular about the knocker on Scrooge's door. He had seen it night and morning during his whole residence in the apartment.
Nor was Scrooge a man of great imagination, and he had not thought much about dead Jacob Marley in 7 years. But as he found his keys and turned, the knocker on the door began to move, changed, and became the face of
Jacob Marley?
as clearly as Scrooge had seen him in life.
No, you're dead. Marley's dead.
Scrooge's blood ran cold, and he stood a moment facing away from the dreaded door. Finally, he was brave enough to turn and look, and Marley's face was gone. Scrooge stood facing his own door, and it was only his door and nothing else. The door he had seen thousands of times before.
Humph, never happened. Imagined it. Only shadows. Marley's dead. Humbug.
Scrooge locked himself in with a double lock, and thus, secured against surprise, he changed into his dressing gown, slippers, and nightcap, and sat down close to the fire to eat his gruel.
Merry Christmas. Humbug. Marley's face in the door. More humbug. Seeing things that aren't there. Marley's dead. Been dead for 7 years. Dead don't. There it is again. What is it? That. There it is again. Who's there? Who's there? Bah, the wind.
Ebenezer Scrooge.
Who is it? Who's there? Who calls me? Let me see you. Where are you hiding? You won't frighten me. How did you get in? Where are you? Show yourself. Stop it. Stop it. It stopped. Of course it has. Wind in the chimney flue. That's all. Wind in the...
Ebenezer Scrooge.
Who are you? Why do you call me? Show yourself.
I'm here, Ebenezer Scrooge.
Jacob Marley? Jacob Marley? But you're dead.
I am.
Then you must be.
I am.
What do you want with me?
Much.
This can't be Marley. Who are you? Tell me, who are you?
Ask me who I was.
Who are you then?
In life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley.
It is Marley. No, I'm imagining this. I've gone mad with all this info. Merry Christmas.
You don't believe in me.
No.
Why do you doubt your own senses?
I may be dreaming you. You might be a nightmare brought on by eating too much. You might be a crumb of spoiled cheese or an underdone potato. You may not have risen from your grave, but from my gravy. Please, Jacob, why do you trouble me?
Do you believe in me then?
I must. But why are you here?
It's my curse.
You're cursed, Jacob?
I've been cursed to wander through the world and witness what I cannot share, to witness the unhappiness I caused in life, the unhappiness I cannot change in death.
Why do you moan? Are you in pain?
I grieve. I grieve over the chain I wear.
Why do you wear it?
Because it's my own. Because I forged it in life. I made it myself, link by link, yard by yard. Each link is a sin I committed in life. Look here. With this link, I turned my back on a man who asked for my help.
Yes, I see, but
And this one, I cheated a friend out of what was his.
Tell me.
And this, thievery, this, greed, then, apathy, sloth, malice, revenge, disloyalty, selfishness, cowardice. Link upon link I forged a chain I now bear in death. We pay for our sins, Ebenezer Scrooge.
It is quite a long chain, Jacob.
Yours is longer.
My chain?
The chain you'll wear in the afterlife grows longer each day.
No.
I can do nothing for you, Ebenezer Scrooge. You have made your own chain. You have added new links every hour.
No, please, Jacob. Tell me it isn't so.
I cannot. Only you have the power to change yourself, Ebenezer Scrooge. You have much to make up for. I've sat invisible beside you many a day since my death.
What an unpleasant thought, Jacob. But you died 7 years ago. Why have you not gone to your reward?
A weary journey lies before me, Ebenezer Scrooge. I must roam through eternity. I cannot rest. I may not sleep. There's no peace for Jacob Marley.
Is it your curse?
It is.
But you were always a good man of business, Jacob.
Business? Mankind was my business. The common welfare was my business. Charity, mercy, forbearance, these were all my businesses, or should have been.
Well, but Jacob, you...
Hear me.
Oh,
I'm here to provide a warning. You have yet a chance to escape my fate.
you were always a good friend to me. Thank you, Jacob. Thank you.
You will be haunted
Haunted?
by 3 spirits.
I thank you very much, Jacob, for the offer, but I think I'd rather not.
You must, for without their visits, you cannot hope to shun the path I have tread.
But-
Expect the first of the following Christmas. Expect the first Christmas morning when the bell tolls 1.
But I...
Expect the second, the following night, the same hour.
Could I just take them all at once and have them done with?
The third will come, the final night, at the stroke of midnight.
Could they just write letters, or...
And now I must go, Ebenezer Scrooge, to join the other lost souls on our long journey.
Go where?
Out there.
Out the window? But Jacob, we're up so high, you'll fall,
And up, and up.
Jacob, I can't see you. Jacob, wait. Don't leave me, Jacob. Jacob, please, Jacob. Don't, all gone. Oh, my cold. Close the, there, better, warmer now. He just went up, straight up, no, never happened. Never there, most likely imagined it. Never happened. Humbug, never happened. Well, that settles it then. Off to bed now, off to bed.
And so Scrooge slipped into his bed, drew the curtains, and slept. Until when the hour bell sounded,
Dong.
light flashed up in the room, his bed curtains were drawn back, and
Ebenezer Scrooge.
You're the spirit, the one Jacob Marley said would come.
I am.
Who and what are you?
I am the ghost of the Christmas past.
Long past?
Your past.
Are you a child?
Do I seem a child?
Yes, well, a moment ago you did. But now you seem as old as I, or even older. You changed.
indeed, the spirit's hair was white, yet its face had not a wrinkle in it, lending it an air of ancient wisdom and youthful hope.
It wore a tunic of the purest white and held a branch of fresh green holly in its hand, while its dress was trimmed in summer flowers.
And from the crown of its head there burned a bright, clear flame, while it held under its arm a large pointed hat, shaped like a candle snuffer.
You are so bright. Would you please be so good as to put on your cap and extinguish your glow?
What? Would you put out the light I give?
Oh, well, why are you here?
I rise from your bed and walk with me.
Very well. Let me put on my slippers.
Come,
Outside?
at first.
It's quite cold outside.
My light will warm and protect you.
Out the window? I'll fall.
I will protect you from a
Will it be a long walk
very long
into the country?
into your past.
But
Take my hand, have faith, and leap.
I don't think
Do you know this place?
I do. It's the school I attended as a boy.
How many Christmases did you spend here?
Too many.
How many years did you sit at your desk in the schoolroom, a solitary, neglected by friends and family?
My father never cared where I spent my Christmas.
But there was one Ebenezer, one who loved you and whom you loved.
There was my little sister. Dear little Fan, sweet little Fan.
Answer the door, Ebenezer Scrooge.
What?
Say, come in.
Come in?
Dear big brother,
Fan?
are you surprised to see me?
I am. I am. Oh, Fan.
I have come to bring you home, dear brother, home for Christmas.
But how?
She sees you as you were then.
But not you?
No, we shall go home forever and ever, dear brother. Father is ever so much kinder than he used to be.
Has he treated you well, little Fan?
Oh, yes. He even spoke to me gently one night as I was going to bed, and he seemed so calm and good that I was not afraid to ask him once more if you might come home to us, and he wasn't angry at all. He said, yes, you could come home for good, and he sent me in a coach to bring you.
Oh, Fan, I wish
we're to be together for Christmas and have the merriest time in all the world.
God bless you, Fan.
God bless you, big brother. Oh, please do come now. Come with me.
Yes, Fan,
You cannot.
Go on without me, Fan. I'll be along. Go now.
I'll see to have your trunk and boxes tied to the top of the carriage. Don't be long. Oh, I love you so, Ebby, and we shall be together again. And it will be the best Christmas ever.
The best Christmas ever.
I'll wait at the end of the path.
The end of the path. The end of the path.
Always a delicate creature whom a breath might have withered, but she had a large heart.
Yes, Spirit. Let me see her again. Only a little time longer.
Time is short.
More than we know.
You never had the Christmas at home, Ebenezer Scrooge.
No, the moment I came through the door, Father flew into rage, chased me from the house. Fan wept.
That was long ago.
Long ago, yes, long ago.
And what became of Fan?
She grew into a beautiful young woman.
And died in childbirth.
Yes.
The child lived.
My nephew Fred, he came yesterday to wish me a Merry Christmas. I sent him away.
The time and place have changed now, Ebenezer Scrooge. Do you know this place?
I apprehended here as a boy.
Boys, where are you? Dick Wilkins.
Why, it's old Fezziwig. Bless him, old Fezziwig alive again.
Where are you, Wilkins?
Here, Mr. Fezziwig.
Dick Wilkins. He was my best friend in those days. Spirit, poor Dick, dear Dick.
And where have you left Ebenezer? That young rascal. Where has he got to?
Spirit, could I?
Go with him. He will see you as you were.
Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Here, sir. I'm here, Mr. Fezziwig.
Ah, there you are, Ebenezer. Sneaking off to spy on the pretty girls, were you?
Oh, no, sir.
Oh, no, sir. Oh, no, sir, of course not. You young rogue. No matter, boys, no matter. No more work tonight. It's Christmas Eve. Clear away, my lads. Time for a celebration.
Some gracefully, some awkwardly. Some pushing, some pulling.
Dick, find a partner.
Ha ha, you find a partner too, Ebenezer.
And they all came, anyhow and everyhow, and away they all went, 20 couples at once, hands half round and back again the other way.
Come, Mrs. Fezziwig, dance with me.
Down the middle and up again, round and starting over.
Yo-ho, my boys. Let's have the shutters up before a man can say Jack Robinson. Hilly-ho!
Oh, don't let it stop, Spirit. Never let it stop. Leave me here with them forever and ever. I was never as happy as I was when I was here.
A small matter to make these silly people happy.
Small?
Don't you think so?
Fezziwig had the power to make us happy or unhappy, and he chose to make us happy. He chose it. It was a pleasure to work for such a man, so full of joy. He made our work a pleasure. Such an employer, such a kind, such a benevolent.
And what was it?
Nothing. I was just thinking of my poor clerk, Bob Cratchit. I'm afraid his work is not what one would call a pleasure.
But such an employer, he has such a kind benevolent.
Stop it. Please stop it. I know.
My time grows short quickly now. The years fly beyond.
Ebenezer?
Belle! It's Belle.
She loved you once.
And I loved her.
You married another.
No, but it wasn't that I loved her less. I loved.
You loved your money more than you loved me, Ebenezer.
Belle?
Stay. She can neither near hear you.
Thank you, Spirit.
A golden idol has replaced me. You fear the world too much and don't love it enough. I've seen you change from a man of nobility into an evil, twisted slave of greed. Our love was born when we were both poor, but with the acquisition of money, you've changed. You are not the man who loved me. You are not the man I loved. I release you, Ebenezer.
Oh, Belle.
May you be happy in the life you've chosen. I will not stand between you and your money. Goodbye, Ebenezer.
Spirit, show me no more. Why do you torture me?
Belle married another.
Yes.
But she kept you in her heart, Ebenezer Scrooge.
And I kept her in mine.
Her child could have been yours.
Yes. Spirit, remove me from this place. I cannot bear it. Take me back. Back to my own room. My own bed. Please, haunt me no longer.
After this short break, we will return to the Withamsville Rocks production of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol.
Is this still on?
This will be our intermission. Take a few minutes.
Yeah, me neither. Could you turn off the thing up there? I'm not going to.
We will return to our drama in a moment, but first, these words.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la, la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la, la 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 la. Now our gay apparel, fa la 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 la. So the ancient to guide peril, fa la 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 la. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose. If you ever saw him, you would even say it glowed. All of the other reindeers used to laugh and call him names. Never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? And how the reindeer loved him as they shouted out with glee, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in history.
And now we return to Philip Grecian's radio adaptation of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol.
Dong.
What? The clock. 1 o'clock. I've slept through the day. Jacob Marley warned me. Another spirit, he said. Another spirit at 1 o'clock.
But no spirit appeared. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, nothing. Then, at the quarter hour, though all candles and lamps had long been extinguished in the room, Scrooge became aware of a shaft of light growing brighter by the moment.
What's that? The lamp? One of my candles?
It wasn't.
It's coming from the sitting room.
It was.
Scrooge could see the light shining under and around the closed door.
He got up softly, stepped into his slippers, and shuffled to the door. Then, the moment his hand was on the knob, a voice called out to him.
Ebenezer Scrooge, enter, enter, my friend.
He threw open the door. And the light exploded into the bedchamber. The walls and ceilings of Scrooge's sitting room were covered with holly, mistletoe, and ivy, reflecting back the light like so many scattered mirrors.
And such a mighty blaze went roaring upon the chimney as that old hearth had never known in Scrooge's time. heaped upon the floor to form a kind of throne that were turkeys, geese, game, poultry, and great joints of meat.
Suckling pigs, long wreaths of sausage, mince pies, plum puddings, barrels of oysters, red-hot chestnuts, cherry-cheeked apples, juicy oranges, luscious pears, and immense cakes.
And seething bowls of punch that filled the air with their delicious steaming perfume. Upon this throne sat a jolly giant, wielding a glowing torch shaped like Plenty's horn.
Come, Ebenezer Scrooge, come and know me better, man.
Must I?
Aye, that you must.
Who are you then?
I am the ghost of Christmas present. Get it? Present?
The giant was clothed in a long green velvet robe, trimmed in white fur. On its head, it wore a holly wreath set here and there with shining icicles. Its eyes sparkled, and its curly hair and beard were long and free.
You have never seen the likes of me before.
Never.
Surely you have met some of my elder brothers and sisters.
Have you many, Spirit?
More than 1,800.
A very large family.
Aye.
Spirit, conduct me where you will. Last night, or I think it was last night, I learned a lesson from a spirit. Tonight, if you can teach me more.
Come, touch my robe.
Where are we going?
Out into the streets, man.
Get your watches here.
Scrooge stood unseen with the spirit, who freely sprinkled incense from his torch over the people as they passed. It was a very uncommon kind of torch, for whenever there were angry words, it restored good humor immediately.
Hey, steady there. Watch where you're going.
Me? Look at you stumbling along with your packages. Ran right into me.
No such thing. My parcels and packages are scattered all over.
Mine as well.
If you'd been watching, this would have never happened.
You were watching then?
I was.
Then how is it you didn't see me?
I see you now.
And what are you going to do about it then?
Why, I'm going to help you with your packages.
Oh, thank you.
It doesn't seem I've damaged anything. It was all my fault, you know.
Nonsense. If I'd been watching where I was going, this wouldn't have happened here. These are yours.
Thank you. Ah, look here. We've collided directly in front of the chocolate shop. Would you care to have something? I'll pay.
Delighted.
After all, it's a shame to fight upon Christmas Day.
And so it is. God love it, so it is.
Spirit, is there a particular flavor in what you sprinkle from your torch?
There is, my own, the spirit of Christmas.
Why do you sprinkle so much of it all over the poorer families as they pass?
Because they need it most and treasure it most. Come, I'll show you.
Where are we going?
To the home of your clerk, Bob Cratchit.
What has ever gotten into your precious father then? Peter? Belinda? Did he say he'd be late today?
No, Mother, he didn't.
Bless his heart alive. I've seen nothing like it. He has Tiny Tim with him, too.
Yes, Mother, Tim actually wanted to go to church today.
I don't understand how they could be so late. Tiny Tim usually sits upon his father's shoulder and keeps him moving right along. And today, especially, with Christmas dinner almost ready for the table.
Martha isn't here yet either.
I'm watching for her.
Martha is later than she's ever been. I do hope nothing has happened to spoil our plans.
I see her. Here comes Martha.
Martha's here, Mother.
Get the door, Peter.
Yes, Mother.
Merry Christmas, Mother.
Merry Christmas, Martha. How late you are.
I'm sorry, Mother. We had a deal of work to finish up last night and had to clear away this morning.
Well then, as long as you've come, sit down by the fire and have a warm.
There's Father coming.
With Tiny Tim.
Hide, Martha, hide.
Over here.
No, hide behind the door.
The bedroom. Hide in the bedroom.
Merry Christmas, one and all. Wish everyone a Merry Christmas, Tim.
Merry Christmas!
That's the boy. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Belinda. Merry Christmas, Peter.
Why, where's Martha? She was coming today, wasn't she?
No, I'm afraid she's not coming this Christmas.
Not coming upon Christmas Day. Oh, but I...
Surprise!
Martha, hiding from me, you did come.
Of course I came, Father. How could I not on Christmas?
Let Tim down, Father.
We want to show him.
Come into the kitchen, Tim.
Oh, do, Tim. Mother has made the most wonderful pudding.
It's not out yet, but you can hear it singing in the copper.
It smells so like Christmas should smell.
Come see.
Oh, I have to see. Let me down, please, Father.
Down you go then, Tim. Not so fast. Here, take your crutch first.
Come, Tim, come see.
I'm coming.
What would Christmas be without a visit from the eldest daughter, eh, Martha? It's all Tim has talked about for all week.
How did Tim behave today?
As good as gold, and better. Somehow, he gets off while sitting there by himself. He told me coming home that he hoped the people in church saw him looking so happy and bright because they might forget their own troubles and remember who made the lame walk and enter the spirit and meaning of Christmas all the more. He's growing stronger, stronger every day.
Yes, of course he is, Father. You should smell the pudding, Father.
A perfect pudding.
The best pudding ever in the world.
Ho, ho. And what makes you such an expert on puddings?
Haven't I tasted the puddings Mother makes every year?
Indeed you have.
They're the best puddings that could ever be, and this pudding is the best of the best.
The best of the best. I'll wager it is, Tim. I'll wager it is.
Come, children, time for dinner.
You hear that, Tim? Quick, Peter, run and fetch the goose from the oven.
Yes, Father.
Martha, Belinda, finish the table.
Yes, Mother. Right away, Mother.
Tim, you shall sit at the head of the table with me. Hurry now.
Here's Peter with the roast goose.
The goose.
The goose. Just look at it.
See the goose, Martha?
Never was there such a Christmas goose. Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas.
Hooray! Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas. Such a goose.
Cratchit has a very large family. I had no idea.
Have you ever asked?
No, it seems such a small meal for such a large family.
But honestly, come by. Your clerk works very hard for his 15 shillings a week.
I see no presents for the children.
There isn't money enough. They keep Christmas in their hearts, not their pocketbooks. They give presents of love.
What of Tiny Tim? Such a frail little fellow. Will he...
Shh. Time passes. They've done with their meal.
The pudding, my dears. Time for the pudding.
The pudding! It's time for the pudding!
Here comes the pudding. Here comes the pudding.
Smell that? Smell the pudding?
A beautiful pudding.
A perfect pudding.
A wonderful pudding.
An excellent pudding.
A richly small pudding.
Bigger in their eyes than yours, and the finest tasting pudding in all of London, I'll vow.
A Merry Christmas to us all, my dears.
Merry Christmas.
A toast.
A toast.
To Mr. Scrooge, the founder of the feast.
The founder of the feast, indeed. I wish I had your Mr. Scrooge right here, right now. Bob Cratchit, I'd give him a piece of my mind to feast upon.
My dear, the children, Christmas Day.
To drink to the health of such a stingy, hard, unfeeling man as Mr. Scrooge, we carry the Christmas spirit way too far.
No, Mother, Mr. Scrooge needs Christmas as much as we do, even more.
Oh, Tim, very well then. I'll drink to his health, but only because it's Christmas Day.
That's the way. To Mr. Scrooge.
To Mr. Scrooge.
God bless him.
God bless him.
And God bless us.
God bless us, everyone.
Special announcement. Young Master Timothy Cratchit will grace us a song from his vast repertoire.
Oh, yes, a song, Tim. Sing us a song.
Yes,
Okay. Silent night.
They all seem so happy.
Holy night.
But they're poor. I don't pay Cratchit enough for one man to.
Oh, now it's out, eh? You don't pay Bob Cratchit enough for one man to live decently, yet he supports a family.
I was going to say.
Yes, I know what you were going to say. But the strength of a family lies in the family itself, not the paltry sum Bob Cratchit brings home. Love is the main element there, not money.
Spirit, tell me if Tiny Tim will live.
If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, I see a vacant seat in the chimney corner and a small crutch without an owner.
No, no. Oh no, kind spirit. Say he will be spared. There are hospitals.
If he is going to die, he had better do so and decrease the surplus population. Whose words are those?
My own.
Why, man, what right have you? How hateful you are. You are less fit to live than millions like this poor child.
But, Spirit, I didn't know. Who's that?
Your nephew.
My nephew? Fred? What's he doing at the Cratchit's house?
He's not, and neither are we. Welcome to the house of your nephew.
And he said Christmas was a humbug.
A humbug?
A humbug. He believed it too.
He's an evil old thing.
Why, bless you, wife of mine. You've put on such a serious face. Uncle Scrooge is a comical old fellow, to be sure, and not as pleasant as he might be. But he suffers for it. I can't condemn him. He condemns himself.
Well put.
Thank you, Topper.
He's very rich, Fred.
Who, Topper? Then why hasn't he invited us over to his house for Christmas dinner?
No, I mean your Uncle Scrooge.
My uncle's wealth does him no good. He lives like a rat.
A rat in a hole? I've seen his...
As have I, and I'm sorry for him. He won't come to Christmas dinner with us. He stays and he eats his gruel. He only punishes himself.
And he's missed an excellent dinner. That he has.
Let's talk of something else. He's an evil old thing, and I won't have my Christmas ruined with talk of him.
Absolutely right, my dear. What shall we talk about instead?
Let's play yes and no.
A splendid idea. Yes and no, it is. Who will begin?
You start, Fred. You do
Yeah,
it, Fred.
Fred. Yeah, Fred.
Very well. I'll be something, and you must guess what I am. Ready?
Ready.
So am I. Begin. Guess what I am.
Are you a vegetable?
No.
A mineral.
Yes.
Wait.
No.
Whoops. Then you're an animal.
Yes.
He's an animal. A jungle animal?
No.
A fish?
No.
Is an insect an animal?
Yes.
Oh, all right, then. I know you're an insect.
No.
A country animal?
No.
A city animal?
Yes.
A dog?
No.
A city animal. A city animal. Oh, Spirit, I know they can't hear me, but, are you a man?
Do you have 4 legs?
No.
Are you an insect with many legs?
I told you, Topper, I'm not an insect.
Oh, right. I had forgotten.
Ask him if he's a man. Somebody ask him if he's a man.
Are you a disagreeable animal?
Yes.
Do you grunt and growl?
Yes.
He's a banker.
Are you a vicious animal?
Oh, yes.
Do you have sharp teeth?
No.
A man, you're a man. He's a man. Oh, Spirit, this is wonderful fun. Wonderful. I never knew there could be such. Do you live in London?
Yes.
You hear that? You hear that? London. London. He lives in London.
A horse?
No.
A canary?
No.
A toad?
No.
A man. He's a man. Somebody guess.
An animal we might see in the street?
Yes.
Oh, a tiger.
Topper, there aren't any tigers in the streets of London.
Oh, how about a bear then?
No.
A cat?
No.
A mouse?
No.
Oh, wait, I know what it is. I found it out. I know what Fred is.
He knows, Spirit. Topper knows. Everyone tell.
Yeah, come on, what is it?
A man.
Yes. But which man?
Queen Victoria.
Is Queen Victoria a man?
None of my business.
No, not Queen Victoria.
Prince Albert then.
No.
Wait, what do we know? He's a disagreeable animal.
He grunts and growls. A vicious animal. Maybe a tiger?
Not a tiger.
Right, not a tiger. I got it.
Spirit, you hear that? He knows the man. Topper knows the man.
Who is it?
Who's that?
Uncle Scrooge.
Yes.
It is I. I'm the disagreeable animal.
Oh, well, my uncle has given us plenty of merriment, and it would be ungrateful not to drink to his health. To my Uncle Scrooge.
Uncle Scrooge.
A Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to the old man.
A Merry Christmas.
Come, we must go.
Oh, must we? It's all been so happy.
We must. Come.
They went far and saw much, visiting many homes where the Spirit's torch brought the happiness of the Christmas spirit. They stood beside sick beds, and those who suffered were cheered. They brought comfort of the holidays and home to those who were in foreign lands.
They stood with those in despair and brought hope, with those in poverty who were, for a time, rich in spirit. It was a long night, though Scrooge felt that it was more than a single night, and observed that the spirit grew visibly older until, finally, its hair was thin and white.
Are spirits' life so short?
My life upon this earth ends tonight.
Tonight?
Aye, tonight at midnight.
Forgive me for asking, Spirit, but in all the time we've been together, I've noticed from time to time something at your feet, hiding under your robe.
Aye.
May I ask?
You may, and since you ask, look here, man, behold.
Two demon children crouched at the spirit's feet, wretched, frightful, and hideous. They clung to its legs. Scrooge stepped back and covered his eyes.
Horrible!
A boy and a girl, meager, ragged, scowling, and wolfish, their features stale and shriveled, pinched and twisted. Where angels lived and other children, devils lurked in these. Glaring out and menacing, nothing could prepare Scrooge for the sight of these shriveled monsters.
Spirit, are they yours?
They are man's.
Man's?
The boy is ignorance. The girl is want. Beware of them both. But most of all, beware of this boy.
Have you no refuge or resource? Is there no hope for them? And Tiny Tim, is there no hope for Tiny Tim?
Are there no prisons?
Don't mock me.
Are there no workhouses? Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses?
Dong, 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 dong.
Scrooge had fallen to his knees and buried his head. Then, at the final stroke of midnight, he lifted his eyes to find the spirit, and beheld instead a solemn, towering phantom, draped and hooded in a deep black garment, concealing his face and form. It glided towards him like mist along the ground.
Are you the ghost of Christmas yet to come? And you have come to show me the shadows of things that have not happened, but will happen, my future? Is that so, Spirit? Oh, Spirit, I fear you more than any of the others I've seen, but I know you only mean good. I'm ready. Show me the future. Where are we, Spirit? Oh, why, we've returned to Bob Cratchit's house. Are we going to see things that haven't happened? Things that will happen in the future? But why here? Why have we come here again? Why have we, Spirit? Where's Tiny Tim?
Peter?
Yes, Mother?
Isn't it time for your father to be home?
Past time.
Go to the window and watch for him, will you, Peter?
He walks a little slower than he used to these last few evenings, Mother.
Slower? Why? Why? I have known him to walk very fast, indeed, with Tiny Tim on his shoulder. Very fast indeed.
So have I, Mother.
Yes, often.
But Tiny Tim was very light to carry, you know, and his father loved him so that it was no trouble.
No trouble at all.
No trouble at all.
There's Father coming.
Good evening, my dear Belinda, Peter.
Oh, sit down, Bob. Sit down. There's the tea on the hob. Peter, get your father some tea.
Yes, Mother.
Bob, did you go today to see?
Yes, I did. I wish you could have been with me. It would have done you good to see how beautiful it is. It's on a hill, and it looks out on this gentle slope of snow. You know how snow is when it's new. Pure and white, with these little sparkling points of light scattered, like little Christmas diamonds from my tiny Tim. Oh, but you'll see it often. I knelt there and promised him that we will come again on Sunday. All of us. There now, my dear. What would Tim say if he saw you like this? Why, Mother, he'd say, Christmas is a time for making merry, for counting our blessings. Our blessings. I saw Mr. Scrooge's nephew today.
Mr. Fred?
Yes, Mr. Fred. He saw that I looked a little down, and he asked what was troubling my mind. Well, I told him, and he said, I'm sorry, Mr. Cratchit. He remembered my name, you see. I'm very sorry, he said, and sorry for a good wife, too. Though how he knew that, I'll never know.
Knew what?
That you are a good wife. That's more like it now.
What else did he say, Father?
Well, Peter, he said that if he could be of any service, that I should come to him. And he gave me his card. He was so kind, it really seemed as if he had known our tiny Tim.
I wish he had.
Yes, I think he would have loved Tim as much as we did. Such a patient, mild little fellow Tim was. We were lucky to have had him with us, here and for such a short time. Now everyone, run for your coats. We'll go out and listen to the carolers. There's a fine snow coming down now.
It's snowing?
Truly?
Hurry, come, run for your coats. Hurry.
Come, children.
Tim, I don't know if you can hear me, son, but we're gonna be just fine, Tim, just fine. Oh, and Tim, Merry Christmas, son. Merry Christmas.
Spirit, this cannot be. You mustn't let this happen. Not Tiny Tim. Tell me if it's not too late. Where are we? This isn't the Cratchit house. Wait, I recognize it. We're in the street. Near my house. Why are we here?
No, I don't know much about it either way. I only know he's dead.
When did he die?
Last night, I believe.
Who are they talking about, Spirit? Is it Tiny Tim?
I thought he'd never die. What was the matter with him?
I don't really care. He's dead. That's all that matters. In fact, I don't think anyone will care much.
My, whoever it was wasn't very well liked. Must have been a terrible sort of person.
What has he done with his money?
Well, he hasn't left it to me. I know that much.
It won't be a very large funeral.
It won't be a very cheap funeral.
Why, man? Who would go? I can't think of anyone who would.
I don't mind going if there's a lunch provided free, but they must feed me, and I'll only stay as long as there's food to be had.
Spirit, what villain has died? Who could be so terrible that these men would feel no compassion at his passing?
Hello, how are you?
Very good, and you?
Well, thank you. I see the old man's finally gonna keep the devil company.
So I'm so cold, isn't it?
Yes, Christmas,
Quite.
Good morning, then.
Good morning.
Who are they talking about? Who? Where are we going, Spirit? Where are we? I don't know this street. Wait, there's a sign, Field Lane. Oh, we're in Saffron Hill.
Saffron Hill, a collection of filthy shops, a colony of petty larceny, inhabited by those who traffic in stolen and salvaged goods. Here could be found wads of silk handkerchiefs, resold by the pickpockets who spirited them away, old iron and bones, and heaps of mill wheat, wool and linen, rust and rot.
Alleys and archways, like so many cesspools, disgorged their offenses of smell and dirt and life upon the straggling streets, and the whole quarter reeked with crime, filth, and misery. Here sat a low, broad, beetling shop where iron, bones, bottles, and charnel houses, viscera were bought.
Inside were secrets that few would scrutinize, hidden in mountains of unseemly rags, masses of corrupted fat, and in the middle of it, all by a charcoal stove, sat a great greasy spider of a man smoking his pipe.
Old Joe, you in?
Well, Mrs. Dilbert, and you've not come alone.
We run into each other down the way. We all been the same treasure and trove, come with plunder. This here's the widow's crook.
Widow Crook?
Let's get on with it then.
These things is done with ceremony. Introductions first, and final, of course, the undertaker's man, Mr. Whitlow.
Whitlow?
Pleasure.
Look at the three of ye bearing gifts for old Joe like you was the magi themselves. When would the three of you meet again? You couldn't have done it in a better place. Come in, all the way. Shut the door after.
Listen to it shriek.
Ain't it a bit of rusty metal in this place, as its own hinges, and no such old bones here as mine. What do you got, undertaker man's first?
I got 2 keys, a pencil case, a pair of sleeve buttons, and a brooch of no great value.
No great value at all.
It's not fair. By the time I get to them, they picked over good.
Still, business is business, so there. That's your account, and I wouldn't give another 6 pence if I was to be boiled for not doing it. Who's next? Mrs. Dilbert? Widow Crook?
I'll wait.
Best for last, widow?
Here's mine, Joe.
Let's see what ye have then, Miss Dilbert. Sheets and towels, a pair of boots, 2 old-fashioned teaspoons, a silver tongs, a pair of sugar tongs, a coat somewhat the worse for wear. I always give too much to the ladies. It's a weakness. And that's the way I ruin myself. Here's your account then. If ye ask me for another penny, I'd repent for being so liberal and take back half a crown.
Now undo my bundle, Joe.
All right then. What's this? The bed curtains?
Bed curtains, his own.
His own curtain rings too? You don't mean to say you took 'em down, ring and all, with him lying there?
Yes, I do. Why not?
You were born to make your fortune. What's this? His blanket?
Whose else's, you think? He isn't likely to take cold without him.
And this?
You may look through that shirt till your eyes ache, but you won't find a hole in it. It's the best he had. They'd have wasted it hadn't been for me.
Wasted it?
They had it on him to be buried in, but I took it.
You took it off of him while he was...
If calico ain't good enough for such a purpose, it ain't good enough for nothing. He can't look any uglier.
Mercy!
I should have had that shirt by rights.
Pipe down, Whitlow. You get plenty. Get anything else, widow?
That's the lot.
Good. I feared you might be marketing the corpse itself.
No.
All right, then.
People on the street. I couldn't have got it out.
Why wasn't he a natural sort of bloke in his lifetime? That's what I'd just like to know.
That's the Lord's own treat, ain't it?
He wouldn't give a poor old woman tuppence, don't I know? If he'd just been nicer to people, he might have had somebody looking after him when he was sick, instead of dying all alone by himself in his room.
Truer words was never spoke. It's a judgment on it. That's what it is. I don't think there was ever a kind of nobody in his life.
Spirit, please. I don't know. There must be some lesson to learn in the death of the man they speak of. No one could love such a man. Tell me his name. We're back on the street. Where are we off to now, Spirit? Are we...
Merry Christmas, brother.
He sees me? Merry Christmas. Tell me, brother, have you heard about the man who died last night?
Oh, yes. The whole district's buzzing with the news. Mind you, I didn't know him myself, but from the talk I've heard, we're better off without him. He was a nasty old miser. No one mourns him.
His name? Do you know his name?
Why, of course. Doesn't everyone? It's Ebenezer Scrooge. Ebenezer Scrooge died last night. Merry Christmas, brother.
Spirit, I'm the one who died. I'm the one nobody mourns. Spirit, hear me. I'm not the man I was. Assure me that I may yet change these shadows you have shown me, that I may take Tiny Tim well again, and he won't die, that I may alter my life and become a good man. I will honor Christmas in my heart and keep the spirit of Christmas all year round. I will live in the past, present, and the future. All three will live in me. I learned my lesson. Spirit, 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 what? Why I'm back in my own bed? But how could this? Another chance? I'm being given another chance. I'm not dead, and Tiny Tim's not dead. Another chance for Tiny Tim. I'll be good, spirits. I'll be good from now on. Another chance. Tiny Tim won't die. I'll send him to the doctor, the best doctors. I don't know what to do. I'm as light as a feather. I'm as happy as an angel. Merry Christmas to all the world. Oh my. Do you know? Oh my. I don't know what day it is. I don't know how many days I've traveled with the spirits. Under the influence of spirits. Oh, I like that. Under the influence of spirits. I don't know anything. I'm a baby. I'm a baby. But I don't care. I like being a baby. I like being a baby. I like being a baby. Oh, look out the window. A boy down on the street. Do you see him? Do you see that? Do you see that? Who am I talking to? There's nobody there but me, I hope. Boy, oh boy, you there.
Who, me?
Yes, you. What's today, my fine fellow?
Today, why, it's Christmas Day.
It's Christmas Day. I haven't missed it. The spirits have done it all in one night. Or they sent me back, or they can do anything they like, anything. You know that, don't you? Of course you do. Of course you do. Who am I talking to? Only me. Hello, my fine fellow.
Hello.
Do you know the portiers at the shop corner?
Yes, sir.
Oh, an intelligent boy, a remarkable boy. Have they sold the prize turkey that was hanging up there, the big one?
What, the one as big as me?
Oh, a delightful boy. A pleasure to talk to him. Yes, my lad, the one as big as you.
It's still there, sir.
Good. Oh, good. And tell them to bring it here to me, and I'll buy it, and I'll tell them where to take it. Come back with the man, and I'll give you a shilling.
A shilling?
Come back in less than 5 minutes, and I'll give you half a crown.
Half a crown, yes, sir. I'll be back, sir. Half a crown.
I'll send it to Bob Cratchit. He won't know who sent it. Why, it's twice as big as Tiny Tim. Oh, I must dress and meet the turkey downstairs. No, not the turkey. The quickly. I'll have Christmas dinner with my nephew Fred. Won't he be surprised, though?
Oh, what a time old Scrooge had that Christmas. He had dinner with Fred and sang carols and played games, including yes and no, which he won every time. And after dinner, he went round to all the shops, pounding on the doors until they were opened to him.
And he bought presents for all the Cratchits and had them sent to their house. But he instructed the shopkeepers not to tell who sent the presents, and by the time night fell, he had spent more money on presents and food for the poor and needy than he had ever spent on anything in his entire life.
And he was happier than he'd ever been in his life. But he was early at the office the next morning so could catch Bob Cratchit coming in late, and Bob was late.
Dong, dong.
Bob and his family had stayed up the night before celebrating in the strangest and most wonderful Christmas they had ever had, for a good Christmas spirit by the name of Ebenezer Scrooge had sent food and gifts and clothes to the Cratchit household.
The clock finished striking 9. No Bob. 15 minutes past 9.
Dong,
No Bob. Then at 9:30.
dong.
Cratchit,
Yes, sir.
what do you mean by coming in this time of day?
I'm very sorry, sir. I'm behind my time.
Yes, you are. Behind your time a whole 30 minutes. Come in here, Cratchit.
It's only once a year, sir. It won't happen again. I'm afraid I was making rather merry yesterday, Mr. Scrooge. You see, someone delivered. We were surprised to. It was...
Cratchit, I'm not going to stand for this sort of behavior any longer.
No, sir.
and I see no choice but to raise your salary.
Please, sir, I can't. What?
That's right. You heard me. Raise your salary.
Raise my...
Merry Christmas, Bob. A Merry, Merry Christmas. Can you ever forgive an old fool?
Yes, sir. I mean, no, sir. You're not a fool, sir.
I'm going to raise your salary, and I want to help you raise that family of yours, too. We're going to get Tiny Tim the best doctors in the world. He's going to be fine, Bob. He'll grow up strong and healthy, and we'll see if we can find your oldest boy, Peter, a good position where he can learn a trade. Belinda, too, and schooling. The children will need the best of schooling. It's too cold in here. Put some more coals on the fire.
Yes, sir.
No, never mind. I'll do it. You sit here at my desk. Make yourself at home. Sit in my chair. Put your feet up. I'll bring you a nice Christmas bowl of smoking bishop. It's about time, isn't it, Bob? A Merry, Merry Christmas to you, Bob Cratchit. A Merry Christmas to everybody. Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all and more. And to Tiny Tim, who did not die, he was a second father. He became a good friend as a master, and as good old city news. Some laughed at him, but he let them laugh. For him, that he was happy. He never saw the spirits again, but he learned their lesson well. For it was said of him that he always knew how to keep Christmas spirit better than any other man. May that truly be said of all of us. And so, as Tiny Tim observed,
God bless us, everyone.